Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Today we are going to start the lectures about secondary education. So today this is the first unit in which we will cover different topics. First of all, introduction about secondary education, nature of secondary education, significance of secondary education, characteristics of secondary school students, and objectives of secondary education. So first of all, if we introduce about the secondary education, then we can say that education is being considered the central for the you can say a development strategy for raising our economy, and this is just because of having a central and vital role in the human capital formation. Educated human capital has been found to have strong and consistent positive effects on economic growth and productivity of the country. It reflects substantial impact on the degree of social cohesion in our country. So remember that always educated men or women both, they are having the strong and consistent positive effect on the economic growth of the country. Whenever we see that the economy of the country is strong, so that is just because of the people who are educated in that country. Equalization of education levels reduces the regional disparities. Like many other developing countries, the situation of education sector in Pakistan has not been very encouraging due to poverty and dismal economic situation in the country. Hence, it is necessary the proportion of development spending on education must be increased. We know that almost 4% budget, you can say, that is being spent on education, which is very less amount. So we must increase this budget also for the promotion of education and also to remove the poverty from our country. An extremely high portion of the education budget is spent on the recurrent heads, mainly comprising of salaries, in contrast to the meager amounts spent on quality improvements such as teachers training, curriculum development, supervision, monitoring, etc. So therefore, additional fund must be allocated for the purpose. Remember that whenever the funds are allocated to the different institutions, those are directly or indirectly working under the government of Pakistan. So different funds are to be allocated to those institutions for performing, or you can say for improving the task whatever is under that head. So this is the duty of administration to utilize that fund properly, and they must try to improve the current situation as compared to the past. So it is an admitted fact that the importance of education in poverty alleviation can't be denied. So it works as an agency to keep up sustained economic well-being by combating unemployment, removing social differences, improving tolerance, and setting the best practices for women participation. So this government policy intervention proved helpful in realizing the change at grassroots level, as it has successfully graduated at both fronts, policy and implementations. These two things must have coherence. They're like if there are some policies, so there must be implementations through management, or you can say through administration. So that must be in a positive, and that must be utilized and properly implemented so that the government may improve the current situation of the country. So there are different levels of education. The first one is formal education, through which we get our education. It includes early childhood and preschools, elementary education, secondary education, higher education, And the second type of education, that is informal education, that education which we get from our peers, friends, families, and our surroundings. Then special education, this is normally being given to the people who are considered as disabled, or you as have a physical some facts, sorry, defects. So those people are to be utilized for this education. So technical education, the people definitely after getting some education like especially secondary school certificates, so most of the people they try to earn themselves for themselves and also for the families. So at that stage the technical education is to be provided to those personnel who want to become the part of society and part of the country. Secondary education, this is normally considered as ninth to 12th class. This is an important subsect of entire education system. On the one hand, it provides middle level workers for the economy, and on the other hand, it acts as a feeder for the higher level of education. You know that this stage is very important. At this stage, I earlier said that somebody they try to earn for themselves and for their families, and also this education, you can say, acts as a feeder to get higher education. So if you have good secondary education, it means you can move toward the higher education also. So the quality of higher education, which is expected to produce high quality professionals at different fields of social, economic, and political life of the country, so that depends upon the quality of secondary education. If your secondary education will be good, so it means your social, economic, and political life will be good. So this level of education therefore needs to be organized in such a way that it should prepare young men and women for the pursuit of higher education, as well as make them able to adjust with their practical lives meaningfully and productivity. Remember that this stage is very important. At this stage, we must try to give education to our men or women, so that if they want to go into their practical lives, so if that level means secondary education, if they have good secondary education, so they can do a lot of things for themselves. So the secondary education, this is the stage where the student enters adolescence. So this is the most crucial stage of life. The basic perceptions and modes of behavior starts taking shape, and problem of adjustments with the new roles in life assumes critical significance. Because at this stage there are a number of, and you can say a lot of needs of the personnel. So at this stage the different ideas comes, and men or women, they want to try, they want to get something, they want to shape their ideas, they want to adjust themselves into the societies. So that's why there are so many needs. If at this stage, if they are properly guided, so they can do not for themselves but also for the country. Secondary education covers two phases on the international standard classification of education skills, like level 2 or lower secondary education. This is less common. Junior secondary education, that is, this is considered as the second and final phase of basic education. And level 3 upper secondary education, this is the stage before tertiary education. And every country that has aims to provides basic education, but the system and terminology that remains unique for to them. So secondary education typically take place after 6 years of primary education, and is followed by higher education, vocational education, or employment. So remember that this stage is connected with many ways, like it you can say this is just like a main headquarter, or you can say main choke, from where there are so many ways that people can adopt for themselves. Because you know that at this stage the different people they want to earn to, so somebody they want to go to get higher education, and somebody they want to like get vocational education, or they want employment, etc. So like primary education, in most countries education is compulsory at least until the age of 16. So children typically enters the lower secondary phase around age 11. So compulsory education sometimes extend to age 19. Since 1989, education has been a basic human right for the child. So Article 28 of Convention on the Rights of the Child states that primary education should be free and compulsory, while different forms of secondary education, including general and vocational education, should be available and accessible to every child. In classical and medieval times, secondary education was provided by the church for the sons of nobility and to boys preparing for universities, and the priesthoods as trade required navigational and scientific skills. The church reluctantly expanded the curriculum and widened the intake. With the Reformation, the state wrestled the control of learning from the church, and with Savanius and John Locke, education changed from being repetition of Latin texts to building up knowledge in the child. So, education was for the few up to the middle age of the 19th century. Secondary schools were organized to satisfy the needs of different social classes, with the laboring classes getting 4 years, and merchant class 5 years, and elite getting 7 years. Then the rights to the secondary education, that was so it means codified after 1985, and the countries like still working to achieve the goals of mandatory and free secondary education for all youth under 19. So this is also the steps being taken in Pakistan, that they are trying to give education till 19 years, free education to all of the people, so that when they will be educated, so the economy of the country that may become strong. So secondary education, this is the in most of the countries, the phase in education continuum responsible for the development of young during their adolescence. So the most rapid phase of their physical, mental and emotional growth. So you know that at this stage the people think a lot, and they are to be considered as the mentally so strong, and the people having some emotions. So at this stage all these things are to be are going definitely, and we are to take care about such things at this stage also. So this stage is very important, and it is at this very educational level, particularly in its first cycle, where values and attitudes formed at primary schools are more firmly ingrained alongside the acquisition of knowledge and skills. So from UNESCO towards convergence of knowledge acquisitions and skills development. Then there is a nature of secondary education. Nature means that whenever you see something, so you get an idea that this thing has such ability to do something. So on the same way, when we think about secondary education, so you must think that this stage can do a lot of things, and like International Standard Classification of Education in 1997 describes 7 levels that can be used to compare education internationally. So within a country, these can be implemented in different ways with different age levels and local dominations. Sorry, denominations. And like level 0, 0 means primary or pre-primary education, and level 1 means primary education or first stage of basic education. 5 means from class 1 to class 5, and level 2, this is named for the lower secondary or second stage of basic education, and the level 3, this is upper secondary education, and level 4 post secondary non tertiary education, and the level 5th is labeled with the first stage of tertiary education, and the level 6 is second stage of tertiary education. So means tertiary education has been divided into two levels, 5th and 6th. So within this system, national governments can call level 2, 3 and 4. So level 2 and 3 are just level 2 secondary education. When level 1 and level 2, that is the primary education, and lower secondary together form basic education. So these definitions were put together for statistical purposes and to allow the gathering of comparative data nationally and internationally and approved by the UNESCO. Then General Conference at this was the UNESCO General Conference at S29 session in November 1997. So though they may be dated, they do provide a universal set of definitions and remain unchanged in the 2011 update. So the start of lower secondary education, that is characterized by the transitions from the single class teacher delivering at all the content to cohort of pupils to one where content is delivered by a series of subject specialists. You know that at this level we always being taught by the you can say by the different teachers, by the different subject specialists, but before 8th class normally one teacher remains for the whole day for all subjects, but after that you can notice this thing that every subject has its own teacher to teach us, or you can say to elaborate the things. So the educational aim is to complete provision of basic education, completing the delivery of basic skills, and to lay the foundations for lifelong learning. So lower secondary education, this is likely to show some criteria like the requirement for more highly qualified teachers just teaching within their specialisms, and entry after some 6 years of primary education, and exit to level 3 courses or employment or vocational education after 9 or more years of education. So the end of lower secondary education that often coincides with the end of compulsory education in countries where they that exist. Then upper secondary education starts on the completion of basic education, which also is defined as the completion of lower secondary education, and its completion will provide the entry requirements to level 5 tertiary education. So the entry requirements to technical and vocational education means the level 5 non-tertiary course or direct entry into the workplace. Overall, in determining the effectiveness of national system of education, secondary education is universally recognized as a fundamental stage. Developed countries such as United States, USSR, and many of the European countries are concentrating their attentions on the research in exploring better solutions to the ever increasing problems faced by young people at secondary schools level. You know that at this stage the personal definitely they have some needs, and in this way they feel many problems, or you can say they face many problems, and to cope with these problems, so different researches are to be done, and you can say are to be conducted so that the problem of the students or young people may be solved at this stage. Most of the people who compose the skilled main power of the nature are trained before the end of their high school years. Then the quality of our education, that this is dependent upon the quality achieved at this stage. So the formation of character and foundation of future leaderships are laid at this stage, so which comes at a time when the youth is in its formative adolescence stage. Hence, secondary education in Pakistan, as in any other country, cannot be profitably be studied unless the needs of the society and the childs are fully assessed. Now, always you know that the things have some significance whenever we adopt or we try to learn those things. So, in the same way, secondary education has some significance, like this is having a very crucial position in any system of education, and some scholars, you can say Ezekiel Mose, they said that secondary education has a unenviable privilege of occupying a midway positions where between primary and further education, between childhood and adulthood, and as to its content between pure and applied knowledge. So in any society, this secondary education, this is generally paradoxical, and it is expected to play transition roles between the basic education and the further education, means higher education, as well as to play a terminal role by providing necessary manpower for the development of the countries. I already discussed is that this stage also provide the people who may contribute financially into the development of the country. So the complexions of the subject at this stage generally militates against each other, and the group deals with its generally at the volatile pre-adolescent stage when the boys and girls are experiencing the most intensive experience of their lives, both physically and emotionally. The output of the secondary education is what means in developing countries and primarily comprises those who want to enter life and thus queue up for already restricted employment opportunities. So they have abundant traditional and agricultural vocations and obviously dream for a white collar job in a nearby city, hence migration means. So this creates immense disparity between supply and demand, resulting in stock of manpower who are virtually left with no choice but to revert to petty jobs least related to their subject clusters at secondary stage. So, highly aspirant groups reverting joblessness leads to frustration and chores in the society. Another pressing problem at this stage is that of overloading of curricula. This is again one of the big problem that at this stage we normally face is the overloading of curricula. When this is that becomes very hectic for the students. And according to Henneman, if there is a societal problems not easily amenable to other solutions, schools are called upon to sort it out. And if times figure increases, so schools are called upon to teach morality. And if there are more traffic accidents, so schools should teach more road safety. And if there is too much drinking, schools should teach more about temperance. If there is too much urban drift or too much unemployment and not enough respect for manual occupations, so school teach more practical subjects. So such indeed is the demand of society on secondary schools, which has resulted in overburdening or curricula and students. Particularly, parents have severe reactions against school management. Diversification of school curricula, and you know that every school have their own, you can say, a way of teaching or way of you can say giving syllabus, and they are following the different organizations to become famous in the society, or you can say to show themselves that they are more outstanding as compared to the other schools. So due to having different curricula and introductions of occupational streams has necessitated the institutionalizations of guidance and counseling services in schools. The developing countries, which are already seized with the problem of providing suitability, trained, sincere, and science and technical teachers, they can hardly afford to supply guidance and counseling teachers to schools. And the experiment of pilot and comprehensive schools in Pakistan have suffered a great deal because of non-availability of specialized guidance and counseling services. So this is what that more comprehensive schools have been opened in Pakistan as a pilot study, and you know that they suffered and they faced a lot of problems, especially due to the lack of specialized guidance and counseling services over there. In the earlier period of Pakistan, highest priorities that was given to the literacy and numeracy in the schools, because this was the main target to increase the number of students and also to increase the literacy rate. And but later on, personal growth with the communication skills, skill for social living, problem solving skills, and coordination of physical and mental skills got attentions and importance by the society. And you know that gradually when we progress into our lives, so we try to bring more advancements in our lives, and we want to learn more things for us. So schools contribute its role in a vibrant way through the curriculum, and secondary schools develop the ability of reasoning, proper use of language, social and emotional constancy in the students. and secondary education plays a major role to produce realistic and skillful students. Secondary education in all over the world recognized as an important level. The quality of higher education is dependent upon the quality of this stage. So this is the crucial age of adolescence of youth, and this is given by the EPOM, Academy of Education Planning and Management. You must know that this academy is in Islamabad, and they always do research on different problems as faced by the students, teachers, or institutions. Secondary education should provide the learner with opportunities to what means to acquire necessary knowledge, skills, and attitudes for the development of self and the nation. Promote love for and loyalty to the nations. Promote harmonious coexistence among the peoples of Pakistan. Develop mentally, socially, morally, physically, and spiritually. Enhance understanding and respect for own and other people's cultures and their place in contemporary society. Enhance understanding and appreciation of interrelationships among nations. Promote positive environmental and health practices and build a firm foundations for the further education and training. Next point, that is develop ability to inquiry, critical thinking, and rational judgment. Develop into a responsible and socially well adjusted persons. Promote acceptance and respect for all persons. Enhance enjoyment in learning. Identify individuals' talents and develop them, because you know that nobody knows the individual talent. So this is what the Scandi say, or you can say the opportunities uh, basically gives to identify what is the talent of individuals, and then develop it. Say it also build a foundation for technological and industrial development, and develops into self-disciplined individuals who appreciates work and manages the time properly. Then there are some characteristics of secondary school students. So what are the characteristics? First of all, we discuss the general characteristics, like secondary education and interests shift from solitary to group pursuits, and this is basically the qualities, or you can say characteristics of the students who are at secondary level of education. So we are talking about their characteristics. So these are actually the general characteristics that we feel, or we normally can find out from the students of secondary education level. So having the right or in clothing becomes particularly important. Vocational interests become more prominent and realistic. Concerns about social issues and develops. Beginning of truer sense of self develops, and strong attitudes toward religious, ethnic, and racial groups begins to emerge. Then there are some physical development, like rapid weight gains at beginning of the adolescence, enormous appetite, sexual maturity with accompanying physical and emotional changes. Female usually about 2 years ahead of males. Bones growth essentially completed. Adult height essentially reached improved coordinations. Then characteristics reactions are there, like going to extremes, emotional instability, and know it all attitude displayed. So return to habits of childhood, nail biting, tricks, impudence, daydreaming, and high interest in philosophical, ethical, and religious problems, like search for ideas, and preoccupations with acceptance by the social group, fear of ridicule and or being unpopular, and overly sensitive, self-pity. So strong identification with an admired adults, and assertions of independence from family as a step toward adulthood, and high interest in physical attractiveness. Then some social needs are there, sorry, special needs are there. Conformity with the acceptance by the peer group, adequate knowledge and understanding of sexual relationship and attitudes, adult guidance which is kindly, unobtrusive and does not threaten the feeling of freedom, sense of directions without being pushed, The assurance of security seeks both dependence and independence, opportunities to make decisions and to earn some money. So these was the some characteristics. Now we shall see that what are the objectives of secondary education. You know that if there are some institutions, so they always have some you can say objectives. So generally we divide objectives into basic categories like general objectives and specific objectives. So general objectives are those which were found to common to all countries in the all regions, and they tended to be long-term goals which have changed little over time, and specific objectives states in more detail how the general objectives will be achieved. If we talk about the general objective means to provide equity for all young peoples to obtain from secondary education the knowledge and skill appropriate to their needs and abilities. This objective endeavors to overcome elitist education to be a means to achieve national unit and national objectives of development, to serve as an instrument for raising the quality of life of the people, to serve as a preparatory stage for those who wish to pursue higher professional education and training, to improve learning through the use of both formal and non formal approaches to education using modern technologies and aids, to establish a close linkage with the community with a view to make the students aware of real life situations and to check the alienations and that exist between education and environments, to establish close linkage with industry, agriculture, and other places of work with a view to provide meaningful courses and adequate preparation for employment and self-employment. Then to use a futuristic outlook and to pursue programs keeping in view the immediate as well as long-term perspectives of development, that is economic, social, political, scientific, and technological. Then some specific objectives are there of secondary education, like to develop the skills of learning and living, to develop the abilities to communicate, to encourage the urge to inquire, to gain personal satisfaction through effect in learning and accomplishment, develop an appreciation of problem solving methods, help people to develop their ability and to respond to experience in creative, inventive, and considered ways. Then to develop appropriate value, such as to become self-reliant and to develop sense of responsibility for personal and group actions in ways that show care and consideration for others. For example, respect for others and accept the rights to individuals and groups to be different, provided they do not impinge excessively on the rights of others. Help students to develop sense of personal identity and self-worth, and help people contribute to society in a meaningful, productive, and satisfying way by preparing them to ensure or to enter the world of work and adult life. This is to provide the knowledge required for a satisfaction and as a basic for further education, to develop an awareness of the factors of their non-living and living surroundings. You know that the people always faces the different things, and these are the factors actually for living and non-living surroundings, and help people to develop an appreciation of the contribution that the arts and technologies have made to the lives of people, provide experiences of the arts and science appropriate to the community, and develop in students an understanding of their nation, their culture, history, and way of life. Help people to develop an understanding of people from other countries and cultures and their relationships with them, and develop their understanding of human dependence on natural and man made environments and responsible attitudes to the use of resources. This lecture, and hopefully uh, you have subscribed my channel, and still if you didn't subscribe, so please subscribe my channel for more updates, and inshallah I will give you the complete lectures about this secondary education, especially the students of B8 and the teachers who are teaching at different levels. So stay with me, and always remember that share these things with your fellows friends, and also I've given some links before, you can see in the description below, where you can find out my other channels where different you can say the subjects are there, different information is there, like info channel is there, info desk. So you can find out the problems related to your MS Word, MS Excel, PowerPoint, and related research problems, and you can say other general problems like how to remove plagiarism. So such type of problems you can find there also in my other channel, Infodesk. So there are other some important links are there, and you can click on that, and moreover my website is there, parkshines.com, where the notes are available, or if you want to appear for different tests, so MCQs are also available. You can do your practice over there, or and these questions are very important for you and your friends. So take care. Allah Hafiz.